But what is up with that where the president can't drive a car anymore when they become the president? Or their safety? It's like they have all these, it's like we have so many Americans. Do they deserve to be in America? How I see it, it's like if the president can't feel safe, the president should be able to walk, should be able to go back to Delaware, walk his neighborhood with no gun on him. But, well, I would recommend him carry a gun. But America should be so safe that Joe wouldn't even have needed to carry a gun. But reality is, Joe should be carrying a gun. But then they'll tell you, Tom, Joe's already so old. You know, he doesn't care. And there is ones like that. It's like if Joe dies, Joe dies. And some people are like that. And I'm not, but some people are. And maybe when you get old, near your life expectancy, you become like that. But I was saying it's happened ever since JFK. It's like all this turmoil. Even with JFK. Even Obama. I mean, let's not say that because then it's like you're being a really bad person, gangster person, if you push it on me that Michelle got the shop at Walgreens, CVS, or whatever, and all that. She should be able to. But don't rub it in on Joe Biden and rub it in on John F. Kennedy because that's not fair either to say that. But it's like, what's up with our immigration? It's like Obama likes to joke and say he got rid of me, but the fact is, my family bought my plane ticket and I left the United States on free will. I could have stayed if I wanted to or whatever, but why would I want to? I would have been like, it would have felt like, oh, it would have been horrible. No, it wouldn't have been freedom. That's all I know. So, but he likes to joke and say that. But that was the best. He actually did me a favor with the no fly. He did me a favor. Me and Obama were good friends and still are. I've never met him. I've never met Obama. And I don't really care to anyway, unless I had millions or something like that. I would maybe care to meet him. But unless I had millions of dollars or something like that come in, I don't want to see him or whatever. I already know him and all that. Because I would owe him. I would owe him. And he would say, Tom, I'm not going out for a steak dinner with you. And I'd say, well, I'd Amazon him or something. But that's the current state of it. It's like, well, that's why I did the masturbation. I mean, I remember when I was born. I mean, how indebted my dad put me that I had to start masturbating to to not get too mad about the position that I was put in. And that's where a lot of kids are at now. It's like, yeah, your first few or whatever, even for a couple years, even for 10 years. Some of you are not going to be able to have real sexual intercourse. You're going to have to masturbate. Because if you don't, you're going to turn into a crazy person and go shoot 20 people or whatever. Because I've had the same feelings. When my dad told me, he said, Tom, you ain't getting nothing from me. Even though he had everything. And I said, why? I'm not getting nothing. Not a dollar. I didn't get a fucking nothing. Okay? How do you think that made me feel? There were some days I just couldn't afford it. It comes down to your business too. The line of business I had to get in to start putting a roof over my head, I couldn't afford to have a woman around because she would have been fucking causing problems. That's what they do, a lot of them. Cause a lot of problems. So masturbation's not a bad thing, and that's what I heard in health class and yada yada. They say it's not a bad thing and yada yada. It gets old after a while. After a while, it gets old. When you first start doing it or whatever, it's fresh, but then you regret it after a while because that would have been that. But you remember what the current state of everything was when you had to masturbate to get by. It's like, hey, you don't have a woman to put it in that night or take it. And there's other men that like to push that on you and rub it in your face, and that's illegal. That's called sexual harassment. If you have to masturbate as a man or a woman, you have to do it. You don't do it until you have to. And you do it properly. With a towelette or a towel or whatever. Some people do it in the shower. Just the current state of things, right? What is it called? You have to be pretty wealthy to afford to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever. But at the same time, you don't. You can just have them or whatever. And you guys will figure it out. And you might not be the richest. But by the time, like, it takes time for anybody. It takes time for anybody. Some people can do it solo, dolo, lonely. Some people have their friend beside them. And then a lot of the ones that have their friend beside them, they became, yeah, there's some of them, I know. Yeah, they get their house and all that. But if you're one of those ones, I'm talking about the ones, like, listen, we know about those ones that everybody's so proud of. But what about our young citizens that are trying, and when I say citizen, it's a person that has legal rights within this country. They were born here. They were given citizenship for a reason, or else they would have been aborted and yada yada. So if they're a citizen, because some of those people, some of those ones are going to say, "Well, we'll kill those kids or whatever." But that's illegal. So you want to figure it out legally. It's like, what's the issue, right? It's got to do with that because I faced it. You got dads and older men that abuse the young ones. My dad stole my computer and yada yada. And all that. It's like, but you'll figure it out. It's all about figuring it out. Whatever is ticking you off. Figure it out when it comes to that budget. Whatever money that you need to get, whatever, just figure out what's kicking you off. Okay? It's really a thing about figuring out what's ticking you off. It's this. It's like, oh, for instance, I didn't have this really nice AC/DC shirt because I didn't own it. That was one thing that ticked me off, but it kept me focused. It was like, I want one of those really nice vintage shirts because I know the girls like them. So I have to work hard on this, that, and the other, or go get a job, or whatever is going to make that dollar amount. You're going to do it to then get this DC shirt to impress the girl. And sometimes it isn't sex or whatever. Sometimes it creates a whole nother story out of it that that is much better than going to jail or dying or causing an atrocity. You just have to stay focused. And a lot of the times, people are going to help you. You just have to keep looking. Hey, I've been places. When I was having a hard time for a short time or whatever, I went to one area in Mississauga and they wouldn't let me in the shelter. They were being discriminatory, right? Some people would have turned around and right? But I was like, fuck them. They're worthless. And I went to a different shelter. And I had a good sleep. And look at me now. I got my own apartment, fucking $1,000 gold ring, fucking everything I can fucking dream about. Because guess what? I did it the right way. Not one person in the streets, doesn't matter how fucking sexually attractive you thought you were, you didn't stop me. Because now I'm doing better than you. Ha 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 ha. And that's the best feeling when you're doing so much better than all those other ones. But I don't want people to go out and do that stupid shit. Because 13 people, you didn't kill anybody specific. So there was no fucking, it comes down to the specifics on this shit, guys. It's like nobody's racist. It's like killing 13 innocent people. That's racism. It's like there wasn't not one fucking name or whatever that deserved it or whatever. It's got nothing to do with anybody's race being black, Latino, this, that, and the other. It's got to do with certain fucking names, eh? It doesn't have to do with fucking we're thinking mob and shit with it. We're not thinking stupid fucking grab an AR-15 and kill all these kids and shit. You want to, like, if you're going to make a change, you go kill the fucking big names and shit. Like Martin Luther King and all that. They fucking shot that nigga, changed America. Who's the next guy? Obama. Okay, so if you would have shot Obama, it would have made a lot of change. Okay, but you didn't. You shot 13 innocent folks or whatever. So it's like stupidity. Stupidity. I guess it's like all out war or something. It's all out war. But it comes down to the specifics. I mean, Rick Ross, Lil Wayne. You want to make a big difference in America, kill those people and shit. Don't kill fucking 13 kids. Because Rick Ross has been the leader down there for how long? You got to kill the leaders and shit. If you kill the leaders, Maybach music won't be around anymore. We'll have the music on the internet, but then it all changes. Nobody will be saying like, because there's a big joke down in the United States they tell to every single fat person. You want to be Rick Ross? You wish you were a wannabe Rick Ross? And all that shit. As soon as you kill Rick Ross, there won't be any of that bullshit anymore down in Florida and Georgia. All right. But I don't advise anybody to do anything stupid or against the law, because that would be against the law. But I'm just saying, stop with all the fucking stupid shootings. They're not even making sense. Because if that is the case, then being a part of the government or what have you, if, for instance, the certain ones were to die or whatever, it's like, who would we have to go to war with? I've been fucking saying about Mexico for years. And when I was down in Tennessee, they started attacking Canada, some of them, the idiots. She's already been kicked out of office, and it wasn't her either, the girl, what's her name, Saki. She was great, cool. But it was this guy, this Reister, Kyle. He got everybody's attention off of Mexico and put it on Canada or what have you. It should have been on Mexico. We should have been fucking up Mexico from the get-go. That's what George W. Bush said from the get-go. And then Barack changed it and shit like that. And that's why you're having your mass shootings and shit. The Mexicans don't give a fuck. They're coming up and wiping you blancos the hell out. Because I just dealt with one of them up here in Canada. We don't have that many of them. The full out Spanish. Muy hablo poquito español. Muy el percentile español. Okay? But not the 100% like these ones. And these ones are coming in. And they're like, I don't give a fuck who you are. You're the stupid fucking seagull. The white seagull. And that's what they're doing. And you got President Obama laughing. Because he don't give a fuck about Seesaw. He don't give a fuck about you guys, okay? He's laughing. He's just hoping that you die before you figure it out so he can remain the king. You feel me? He's really nice to his whites. He fucking hates you, despises you, all that. Okay? And you put that nigger into power. It's like unfucking believable. And the N-word, it's a real word. There's no other word to explain it. All right? That's not racism. Racism is targeting a specific group of people because of their race or whatever, or a person. The N-word is an adjective describing a specific style of person. That's not a racist word. If you say that's a racist word, then that is extreme censorship, and that is the reason why you're having these shootings And the reason why you have that war, and I'll continue to just chill out and wait for you guys to finish all up, and they can sweep y'all up or whatever.